Boom, and welcome. Here we are, episode 99 to the CWG podcast, because it's so much easier to find this on YouTube now when you type in CWG. You know what happens? Every episode pops up,
Hell
Ethan.
yeah.
Super easy.
Hell yeah.
Anyways, in studio,
I think that means we made it.
probably our favorite guest, I'd have to say.
100%.
100% our favorite guest to come into the episode. And listen, I'm being biased, and y'all all fuck off. My favorite guest in the episode, Torrez, the Punisher Finney, our closest thing to a superhero. What up, bro?
What's up, baby? What's going on,
What
Gunner?
up, dude?
And also, y'all better go in here and subscribe to Chat with Gunner, because I am a subscriber. So I subscribe also on my channel and also on my podcast channel. So y'all better go and subscribe.
Hey, let's get him on the show
to
more often, all right? Talk about that. So my man's sitting here with his first round management shirt on
That's right. FRM, baby.
as
Yes, sir.
a 1-0 professional MMA superstar.
I don't know about all that.
Okay,
But-
fighter.
Hey, but that's the goal. We're getting there.
We're getting there.
We're getting there.
Hey, every superstar was once a nobody, all right?
That's right. That's
So,
right.
You got to do the game. Coming off a win, so you fought. I'm just reading things here.
Mhm.
So Wesley McCracken
Yes.
must have been a bunch of pun intended in that, because he didn't crack nobody.
No.
KO second round. So I wanted to go so bad. I actually was out. I don't know what I was. I was out of town. I was doing something. I couldn't be there. But I see an image of you with a man about 10 feet up in the air on a, I don't know, I guess it was a single leg. You just got him up, high crotch,
So
threw him down.
he, and also, I'm not gonna say anything because we have been looking into a little film, but for some reason, all of my opponents, they start off with leg kicks.
Okay.
And if anybody has watched all of my fights, so I'm about to do a little MMA breakdown for y'all.
Love this.
So the best way to beat a wrestler is to take away his legs. You take away his legs, you take away his power. Because most wrestlers, as you see, they're really explosive. They like to come forward. So you take away their legs. So guys try to take away my legs. Problem is, I've just been blessed to have really good reach, and I've been wrestling for a long time. And also who I train with, Coach Larry, he helps me out a lot. I'm really good at catching kicks. So every time you kick me, once I see the speed of the first one, it's like, okay, I'm going to see that every time now.
Mm-hmm.
And majority of the time, they'll throw another one or they'll throw a third one, and I will catch it. And yes, they get taken down. They go for a ride. So it's been interesting how a lot of people start fights off on me.
Right.
But I walk people down. I'm not a guy that backs up in the first place. So another thing is that engages the leg kick. So, hey, they do what they do, but hey, it don't matter to me, regardless if they throw the leg kick or not. I already have my game plan set on how I'm going to fight anyway. So that's just more of a defense mechanism. Like, out of all my fights, a lot of people haven't even got the chance to see a lot of my offense because of how people come out to me.
Yeah.
So if it's there, I'm going to take it. I'll take something big time from guys like Habib and DC and Hazmat and Islam. Like, man, if you can take the guy down and beat him up, why not? Save your best thing for your next fight. Why wait why to try to expose everything that you can do in a fight that isn't necessary? Yes, Wesley McCracken, he was tough. He was a tough cat. He had 4 professional fights. He's been fighting for a long time. But the thing is like, I knew what I can do.
Mm-hmm.
I knew what I can do, and it was more of the fact that it's like, okay, why sit here and try to do something that wasn't necessary against him? Go in there, get the win. Let's go home. Let's go on and get the next one.
This dude's not a bum. So a lot of guys, especially in boxing, we've talked about this in the past, like, there's just cans, right? So, this guy was 4-0 as an amateur, just like you,
Yes.
roughly, for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
And then, got off to a slow start in the pros, but it's not like he's fighting, people that are nobodies.
So
for the most part.
the Raymond Hill guy, I believe, he is now, he fought a few times in Bellator, I believe. That's not him?
That is him.
Oh, it is him?
Yeah.
Okay, so he fought a few times in Bellator. His other 2 fights he lost. It was the cut stoppage. The guys, he was actually winning one of the fights, and because of the cut he had earlier that happened in the fight, they had to stop the fight. In a fight he was winning, so that was another one of his losses. So he had 2 fights stop the cuts. One was actually stopped because of a guy actually beat him. So that's the difference between. It was actually
this guy, DeMarco Villalona or something.
He was whooping that guy's tail.
Was he?
He was whooping that guy's tail, and that guy, he just cut him, and he had to stop the fight. Now his first ever fight. That's the guy. That's the guy that went to Bellator.
Okay,
I believe he fought once or twice in Bellator, I believe, and in his pro years, I don't think did he win one or not.
No, I think the guy that went to Bellator is this DeMarco guy.
It was his first pro fight.
So this guy, he fought for Bellator one time.
Oh, okay.
And he got beat by Brandon Hester by triangle choke.
Okay, so that was him. Okay, that was him.
Yep.
So moral of the story,
he was coming off a 1-fight win streak and a knockout.
Yeah, and I saw that head kick knockout. It happened actually here in Chattanooga.
At Valor, yep.
So I've watched a few of his fights. He's not a bad opponent. Good first opponent for me. It was good for me to see somebody with experience. Mm-hmm. It was good for me to see a guy that's tough. He's not just gonna go in there and quit and lay down.
Yeah.
Yes, I made a few mistakes because I actually should have got the finish. And it was more on technique on certain submissions. I had a head and arm choke. I didn't have my elbows all the way down to the mat. I had my forehead on the mat. Things I'm gonna be working on, you know. So don't be y'all out there. Don't be thinking, oh, give Finn a head and arm choke. He ain't gonna finish it because my last amateur fight, I had a head and arm choke.
Yeah, about finished the guy's life, so you need to be careful about that. All right, don't be signing your own death certificate over here, okay?
So, but yeah, I mean, he was a tough opponent. It was a good first pro debut. Having an opportunity to go home and make in Georgia, fight at home in front of my hometown.
How was that?
Okay, the experience, it was awesome. No lie, it was awesome. I enjoyed fighting in front of my former teammates, school. Classmates, friends, family, all types of people. Everybody in Macon almost. But the other problem was it's hard to fight at home when you have everybody trying to blow up your phone before you about to fight.
Let me get some tickets.
Oh, don't. You're bringing back memories. Please don't do that. Yes. How can I get tickets? Text it. How can I get tickets the day of the fight? Are you ready? I keep telling y'all, stop asking me, am I ready? I don't train for 8 weeks to be asked, am I ready?
Man, what do I text you? Listen, I know, because I've been one of those people. Let's see what I say. Hey, man, wish I could be there. That's what did I say?
Probably. I mean, you got it in there, definitely.
Something just simple. Something along the lines of, go do what you got to do. Hit me up when it's over. Like something like that's all you can ask about.
You said punish tonight, brother. Wish I could be there. Let's get you on the show after your fight to talk about it. I said, yes, sir, always willing. So you said punish tonight. I like that. You just like go do the thing.
Just to let you know I'm thinking about you. Yes. Not hey, I need something from you. Just go do your thing.
Yeah, man. Like go do the thing, you know. Hey, good luck. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of good luck because I train too hard. There's no luck. It's hard work. No. But I'm not thinking about it. But even if a good luck, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Don't ask me, are you ready? What the heck? This ain't DX. I am obviously ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready. Like, I don't train for 8 weeks not to be ready. You think you're going to win?
Yep.
What? What? Like,
here's the other one. Okay, and you can take this how you want it, but like, you win. All right. Now everybody's going to be like, great job, good job, blah, blah, blah. Check this out. Heard you got the job done. Happy for you. But we both know it's a no-brainer. Keep your foot on the gas. Like,
thank you.
You gotta, as former athletes, you've got to keep people motivated by letting them know that not only you're watching and supporting, but you're not just along for the ride when they're doing good. Like, I know what you're capable of. I watch this sport.
Yeah.
I love I don't do it. I'm a fan. I love the sport. So I know you can do well at it.
Yeah.
But you got to stay motivated. You
That's
know?
right. And that's a good thing. That's what I like. I like when people say, hey, stay working hard, stay on the path, keep doing your thing. I like that.
Ain't no love.
But then right after the fight, I mean, I'm already getting the question. So where's your next fight? Dude, I just got done with this one. I don't know. This ain't a football schedule. I don't know when my next fight is.
That's like Dana White gets pissed off at that too. Everybody's like, so if he wins, he should probably fight so-and-so. He's like, I don't know, man. We have meetings on Tuesdays.
Yeah, right. Like nobody knows. It's not a schedule. Like I target a certain month to fight.
Yeah.
But because it wasn't necessarily a mistake. But so when I fought in May, that 5-second knockout I fought in May. Okay. Before that fight, I already had the TK fight scheduled, and only because he called me out.
Mhm.
And I'm this type of guy. Oh, you think you better than me? All right. Well, I say yes to anybody. Now, I have my man. That's why I got first round Ray Horner. He's a really good manager. I love him, man. He's been doing so much good stuff for me.
Shout out to Ray.
Yes, shout out to Ray, man. I love Ray, man. He does like he's a really good agent for me, man. He's young. I can go back a little on the story on this. He'll love this, and also his family probably love this as well. So, like, he was young when I first got there. They invited me to first round in Miami to learn, like, hey, they wanted to recruit me. And it was before it was right after my May fight. So they was recruiting me before my May fight. And then it was like, come to Miami after your fight, we'll talk. So when I had the 5-second knockout, it was more like, heck yeah, we surely want you now.
Right. Yeah.
Like, come on. So I came, talked to him, and Ray's young. So I'm Ray's first fighter.
Okay.
It's his first fighter. He's young. I'm young. So be honest with you, my coaches were a little skeptical. They were. They was like, oh, he's a younger guy, But the difference is when you have a younger guy that's trying to make his name within the sport, they work harder.
Yeah.
Compared to somebody that already has their name. Not saying those guys that are already there don't work harder. It's just the fact that you have guys like Ray. He works so hard for you because you one of his main priorities.
Right.
And that's why I always like when I send him stuff, I text him stuff, like give him shout out. Like Ray has been a really good agent for me. Like I really respect him. Like he called me not too long ago after my fight, and I was like, he was on the phone with him and one of the MMA development guys, and I was like on the phone. I was like, hey, look, y'all better make sure y'all take care of my boy Ray. I was like, Ray take care of me, so y'all better be taking care of him at first round.
You go.
Like I love Ray, man. He's been really impactful for me. So big time shout out to him, man. He's been really good for me.
But got to have a huge team around you.
You do.
People that are like-minded, the same goal, goal. You got to have that.
Yes, but back to what I was saying is, so I took Kevin Menard first, and then I had TK already planned after. So no lie, I'm being honest with you. The Kevin Menard fight, I knew I was going to beat him. All right. So TK was my most formidable opponent out of anybody out of anybody I ever fought. TK was 7-2, 9 fights. I only at that time before I fought Kevin, I only had 2 fights. So it would have been a big step up for me.
Yeah.
So I'm watching film on TK like all the time. I'm a football player. I'm watching film, trying to study this, and I'm not staying focused enough on Kevin. Regardless of the fact that if I know I can beat Kevin, regardless if I can beat him on my worst day, I still got to give him the utmost respect because he's my next opponent.
Yep.
So that's the reason why I said after that, I would never, ever again accept 2 fights in already. I will make sure if I accept one, whatever happens next. You can tell me about something potentially or something, but I'm not going to accept it. I'm going to accept one fight, and I'm going to stay focused only on that guy until after because I want to give every opponent utmost respect. Yes, I did go in and get the job done, but you don't want to make that mistake with anybody because when you start looking ahead, that's when you fall.
Yep.
And I don't want to ever do that again. So that's the reason why I was like, I'm only going to keep my eyes on one opponent. So when you ask me when my next fight, I don't know. I literally do not know. The only time I'll know is when I'll post it. I got an upcoming fight in 8 weeks. Oh, well, that's my next fight.
Yep.
But until then, I don't know. I really don't know actually right now.
So, and that's kind of a good thing. Yeah. Just keep getting better. Keep doing your thing.
Just train. That's the problem with a lot of guys in the local professionals and even amateurs on the regional scenes. Guys always accepted fights. And instead of them getting better in between fights, you're not going to get better in a fight camp. Fight camp, you're trying to get ready for a fight. So I'm getting my cardio on point. I'm getting my game plan on point. I'm getting ready to do what I do best. You don't work on your weaknesses in fight camp because that's not the purpose of fight camp. You try to work on your strengths, what you need to do to be able to beat this guy.
Right.
Outside of fight camp, you work on your weaknesses. That's what I'm doing currently. In jiu-jitsu, I hate bottom. In my fights, you've never seen me on bottom. Yeah. But I play it all the time outside of fight camp just in case. So if I ever run into that predicament, I will be ready. Yeah. So it's starting to same thing with striking. If I run into some striking predicament, I will be ready. Now, when it's come fight camp, I work on my strengths as well as the things I've been working on my weaknesses. If they eventually become strengths that I say, okay, I can do this in my next fight, then I start adding that to my fight camp. But, you just got to take time to train. Yep. I think that's the thing with a lot of people. They just don't train enough. They just take fights, man.
I say the same thing, but in business. So like even in business, like say you're in sales, you don't just sell. You got to train cells. You got
That's
to
right.
train first every day and then go do it.
That's right.
And then study what you did that day and try not to make any of the same mistakes. Then train tomorrow and then go do it again.
Mhm.
Like my sales team operates very footballish. Like we break down film.
I like that.
It's very sports themed. But I mean, I don't know any other way. I mean, I'm just a football
To
guy
me-
that's in
and
the
to
sales
me-
now.
and to me, I treat MMA very footballish as well.
Yeah.
Like I watch film. I do scouting reports. I go on like all their social media and look up everything. I look up everything about their family, their wives, their kids. I look up everything.
What are they saying? What are they thinking?
Exactly. Because see, I'm really mental because when I see the mindset of how he thinks against other opponents, I was like, oh, he quit against this guy. Oh, he already knew he was going to lose this against this guy. So, oh, he knows he's not good in this area. I've seen one time I was getting ready to fight. Actually, like Wesley McCracken,
Mhm.
he did these little YouTube videos that he used to do a few years ago. So he used to train at AKA,
Mhm.
and AKA is there with DC, Habib, and all those
He
guys.
trained down there?
Yeah, he
Okay.
trained down there for his first few pro fights.
Okay.
Problem was though, he never grew up wrestling. Now, if you watch his fights, he would take guys down and do. I was like, okay, he got a little wrestling. But as you do more deeper research, he talked about, I never grew up wrestling, but I learned wrestling through MMA. Once I heard that,
That's it.
that was it. I was like, oh,
Can't do that.
you can't learn wrestling as an adult from a guy that's been doing it all his life.
Mm-mm.
It's different thing. You just won't. It's the only person that ever did that was GSP. He learned wrestling as an adult and became incredibly good at it.
He's also very OCD at anything he does.
Yes,
he's
is.
obsessive.
He's really obsessive.
So
So that's the difference compared to a guy like I was fighting. He learned wrestling through MMA, and in his fights, you would have thought, "Oh man, he's a wrestler." But then once I heard that, then once I saw, and plus you can tell because I could tell. I was like, he wrestles his guys, but it don't look like he really wrestled. So once I actually got the confirmation on it from the video,
mhm.
I was like, okay, he's not a true wrestler. And then it showed in the fight, like, you know, I mean, and I tell people, I don't go on my fights actually try to pick guys up. I don't do that. It just instinctive for multiple years of using my hips to elevate guys.
It almost happens easy. I would assume
it does.
Like, it feels like if you hit a home run, like the good part of the bat, it just feels weird. Or a big hit in football, it doesn't hurt. It just feels.
It just feels.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're right. That's exactly how it is. I feel it out.
Mhm.
So it's never been a man, I'm trying to go in here and pick him up. No, I actually don't care how I actually get the takedown. It's just the fact that the guys just elevate because I'm so used to I get underneath them really well.
Yeah.
And I just elevate my hips. But I mean, like I said, good first pro fight, 6 fights in the bag. So, you know, we were on a good start, man. I was on here after my first ever time being on the show was after I won my first title against Tristan Scarborough. So,
Yep. We've had all the big moments. We've had the first title, the second title, and the first pro fight.
First pro fight. Yeah. So we're on the roll.
And we're going to be here for the first big time show
That's right.
and the championship after that.
Yeah,
And then I'll be front row in Vegas.
Yeah, that's right, baby.
So,
Let's do it.
All right.
We're going for it, man. We're going for it. So.
Speaking of front row in Vegas.
Uh-oh.
So I'm not front row in Vegas, but
He close to it.
I'm not too far away from the floor. All right. UFC 272 is this weekend in Vegas. Masvidal and Colby Covington.
Mhm.
Now, you're wearing a shirt that might be branded with the same management team that Jorge Masvidal would be branded by, and also wearing that exact same shirt on ESPN.
Yeah. They sent it all to the first round management fighters. So thank y'all, FRM. Thank y'all.
So, but really, to break down that fight, as a fan, just a guy that just watches it, and I've been calling this fight for like 3 years, saying this is the fight to make. Hopefully, one of them has a belt, but really doesn't matter. The fight to make. Bad blood, legit bad blood, we think, unless they're doing pro wrestling better than pro wrestling. Legit bad blood, 2 former best friends, 2 former roommates, big brother, little brother type scenario.
Yeah.
That now have separated, do not like each other, but they have found themselves in the same weight class. Several hours of, hundreds of hours of sparring, blood, sweat, and tears, knowing what each other actually do on the couch at night. What do they eat Cheetos when they watch TV?
Mm-hmm.
Are they drinking a soft drink when the coaches says they shouldn't? These guys know everything about each other.
Man.
And now they get to fight each other to make a few $100,000, maybe a couple $1 million at the top of the level, UFC 272 in Vegas, and what they're projecting to be one of the top 10 gates in T-Mobile Arena.
Ooh.
They had to remove half of the media for the amount of celebrities wanting to come to the show, similar to a Conor match. So I'm just saying, big time hype around this. Here's how I break it down as a fan. Jorge Masvidal. You got guys that call him a journeyman. I just call him, a veteran fighter. He's beat some really good guys, lost to some really good guys, never really been able to claim the prize, right? Colby Covington was a champ, interim champ, but was a champ. Had it taken away from him. He never lost it. He would be champ if there wasn't a guy named Kamaru Usman. Actually, both of them could be champ if there wasn't a guy named Kamaru Usman.
If it weren't for Usman, they both could be potentially champ. I could see Masvidal even beating Tyron Woodley. They would have been.
So this essentially could be, this is the championship for the number 2 guy in the world currently, because there's a guy that's probably ranked right outside of the top 10 who's about to beat a guy in the top 5 who would then get a title shot after this and probably be champion. And he's one of your favorite fighters.
Yeah, I know.
I think we're on the same wavelength there.
We do, because I don't see nobody really beat Osman.
And maybe 3 weight classes. I have nightmares of that guy, and I don't even fight. So I think the fight can go one or two ways. Oh, that's smart. Of course, one or two of them could win. Colby, complete domination in a heavy wrestling, high volume strike. Masvidal just kind of gets overwhelmed. Or Masvidal gets him into a street fight and he catches Colby. And if he catches Colby, Masvidal becomes the number 1 star in UFC.
Yes. He would do something. So, yes, Usman did it was technically a knockout on Colby, the first fight. But nobody have yet to pick Colby to sleep.
That wasn't a knockout.
I know it wasn't. No, it was just
that was the early. That shouldn't have stopped it.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't defending too well.
There's a minute left. Just let him go out on the shield.
That is true. Like, I mean, they did let the Israel Adesanya and Kelvin Gastelum fight. I mean, it was at one point.
I was there.
Oh, you were?
I was in Atlanta for that.
Holy smokes.
My first UFC event ever.
Well, you watched one of the greatest cards.
2 of the best fights.
Yes.
Of that year. 2 of the top 5 fights of that year on that card, back to back.
No question. Back to back. Dustin Poirier and Holloway.
Yep.
2, and then the Israel. Dude.
Yep.
Well, you got to see a treat, bro.
That's why I'm such a huge fan.
You're in for another treat, then.
So I'm fired up,
You're in
bro.
for another treat. I really wish Islam would have took Dos Santos, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that too.
We'll get to that one. But yes, so Masvidal style. I've been watching all the embeddeds. I've been watching all the interviews.
I'm about to binge them all tonight.
Dude,
all of them tonight.
They're all good.
Okay.
So everybody got their story on there. What happened and what didn't happen and blah blah blah. So, but at the end of the day, something Colby did. They both got kicked out of ATT. Jorge came back. Colby said he didn't want to go back. He's now MMA Masters, which is also a good gym out of Miami. It seems to me that Colby obviously is the better wrestler. All right, no question. I think we all agree on that.
And they brought him into AT&T for that reason.
But I feel like, I agree with you what you said. I watched an interview where Usman was talking about both Colby and Masvidal. He said, do not be like dismayed. Even though Masvidal didn't grow up wrestling, he didn't do anything dealing with wrestling, he is a tough guy to take down. He said it was tough for him to take him down even when they fought the first time on the 6 days notice. Do we remember when Usman was doing those foot stomps to Masvidal in that fight? It was hard for him to take down Masvidal early. He took down Masvidal as he was getting tired.
Yeah.
Once he took down Masvidal, like he was able to get him down, he's like, okay, I finally got him down, but he was gassed.
Yeah. Well, he cut 30 pounds in 6 days.
Exactly. So a Masvidal fully ready to go, trained, I don't think Colby is going to be able to easily take him down like we think. I think Jorge is going to be able to neutralize some of those takedowns and keep it on the feet. Now, the problem I do have is who does have the best cardio probably in all of MMA?
Colby.
That's Colby Covington.
Take away
and
what you want.
And I think he's just going to dude, the pace, the volume is just going to be out of this world.
I think it's
tough.
The takedown attempts because, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm just a guy that is a fan.
You're right.
Defending a takedown is the energy, right? Like
Yes.
that's the energy, the quick movement right there. That initiates the energy, especially the more muscles you have, which neither are too muscle bound.
Mhm.
But so takedown attempts with the high volume of Colby just touching you, boom,
Yes.
boom, and not stopping for 25 minutes, because we've seen that happen. I don't know what his last 7 fights.
I know.
He just tries to take you down, boom, boom, boom. Try to take you down, boom, boom, boom. I'll get you down, boom, boom. But like he just does not stop.
He don't stop
until he breaks your ribs, or he gets a little weak TKO,
Yeah.
or he puts you in a submission because you just turn over you give up your back, or
you ready to get out of there.
Yeah.
And he said he's going to make Jorge quit. But Jorge said he's going in there to take him out. And I think, I'm going to be honest with you, if it goes to a decision, Colby wins. Now, I've said this before about another fight with Ngannou and Gunn, because I said, if it goes to decision, easily Gunn is going to win. Boy, was I wrong.
We can talk about that fight too.
We was all wrong on that. I never saw that happen. I literally, you would have took a lot of money from me if I was a better, because I never saw that happening.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't see it happening either in this one. But yes, if it goes to decision, Colby Covington, he's gonna win. I think Masvidal has to finish Colby. I think he has to finish him. I don't see him outpacing Colby. Now, do I think he can? I think we're in for a surprise. I want people to really understand that. I see how Colby, he's went to MMA Masters, and how he fought Usman his second fight. His approach on how he started the fight was a little slower. He's a little bit more composed, technical, rather than just going all out from start to beginning. And you saw in all his other fights while he was at ATT, from the start to the finish, he was just going. When he fought Usman this time, he was a little composed, a little slow. He was like, man, what's going on with Colby? He need to pick it up. Now, when that third round hit, he surely picked it up, but he took a little time. You know, it's too late. And I think if he does that with Jorge, I think Jorge gonna get him. That's why I'm picking Jorge in this one. I think Jorge catches Colby.
It's not because he's wearing that first round management shirt.
Oh,
That's not why he's picking Jorge. You heard it here first. That is 100% not why he's picking Jorge.
I do think Jorge might catch him, but I do believe I'm going to be 100% real. I do believe Colby is going to outpace him in a way, and if he can continue that pace, he's going to win by decision. But I don't see him knocking out Jorge. Could you see him submitting Jorge? Maybe. I don't think it's going to happen. I just think, and I think Jorge's got power, man. I think he's going to land that shot on Colby. And I don't know what that type of shot going to be, but I think he's going to land that shot on Colby, man. And I think it's going to at least lead to a TKO or a complete knockout.
So
I give it a knockout or TKO, either towards the end of the second, or if he don't get it like midway through the third, then we might not see it at all. But I think it's going to be around the second and third range. That's my little prediction.
So here's I'm torn a little bit, because I like personalities.
Yeah.
Like we're both pro wrestling fans.
Yeah, well, see,
all right. And even in football, like, Gunner, who's your favorite football player? Ray Lewis.
That's right.
Personality.
Yeah,
like,
great
it's just,
personality.
Just something. Tim Tebow. Personality. Like, just, these guys are larger than life figures.
Mm-hmm.
Stars. Like, so for the past several years, I've loved Colby, even when nobody was really on the Colby train, because Colby was a heel. He's doing pro wrestling.
Yeah.
I loved Masvidal when he got a little personality to him with the Scarface gimmick.
Yeah.
He started buying into it a little bit. I've always loved Conor, because Conor's a good fighter. Personality,
yeah.
I like that type stuff.
Yeah. He's got a really good one.
So now I've got my two. I told Tia there's 3 people that I want to watch fight before they're done, and it's Colby, it's Jorge, and it's Conor. I want to go if we go to Vegas to fight, or Jacksonville or wherever, I want to go watch those guys fight. So when these two were matched up together, it was a no-brainer.
It was a no-brainer.
Two birds, one stone.
Yeah. That place gonna be rocking. I assure you that, boy.
They got the 2 best entrances in UFC. Got Kurt Angle and Scarface theme. I mean, you can't beat that.
Dude, that's gonna be so lit.
I'm gonna have a perfect.
That's gonna be lit.
I'm gonna have a video too. It's gonna be awesome.
That's gonna be lit, Gunner. That's gonna be lit.
So I'm fired up for the entrances for those. And it's 2 of my favorite guys, and they're both natural heels, but But you got diehard fans that are cheering for, like, it's split.
It is split.
It's split. Heels with larger than life personalities in a sport that's based off just winning and losing. That it doesn't matter. Whoever loses this, their stock doesn't go down.
No.
I don't think.
Well, so you have to ask the real question. All right. So Jorge, if you lose, where do you go from this? You lost your last 2 already. You'll be on a 3-fight losing streak. Who could he potentially be fighting next? You know, now I think Jorge will be chasing the money fights.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Connor.
Could I see a Connor?
Yeah.
Yeah. Could I see a Nate Diaz too? Maybe. Kobe, for me, if he loses, I think they feed him. I think he's easily like, okay, you're next in line for house mod. You know, you get a chance to try to derail the hype train.
I think winner gets him anyways.
Yeah, I know. Sadly.
I think if I was in this fight, I'd lose. I'd lose and take Connor or Dustin because I ain't trying to fight that wolf.
And I know that's a bad man, bro. I'm gonna tell you something, y'all. I don't think I've been watching MMA for a good bit, and when you talk about complete dominance of what he is doing, even in his training session, he is doing this to world champs and black belts, playing with them, smiling. Hey, throw him in an armbar and submit them and be like, get them next time, brother, next time.
Remember, these are grown men. Try to take a 150-pound man. Say you're our size. Try to just take some Ethan. Listen, just try to take Ethan and say, Ethan, I'm just going to put you on the ground, put you in an armbar, and tap you out. You probably don't want me to do that. And you'll probably give me a little bit of fight, right?
I'll give you a fight.
Might be able to get it.
Probably. Yeah.
Just because I'm a little bit stronger and bigger, I should be able to get it.
Yeah.
Should.
You'll probably.
He's doing that to everybody.
Everybody.
Has anybody even beat him yet in any type of a session?
No, he's finishing everybody. He knocked out a world champion Sambo guy in the second round. We seen what he did. He's only been hit 4 times in
3 fights. Last 4
fights.
Last 4 fights.
Yeah.
In 3 fights, he got hit once.
He got hit once.
Yeah.
And I think both of those other 3 strikes was a guy on the ground.
Yeah.
He hit him.
What him a real one.
I'm about to say, he was just on top and the guy just hit him back, you know? That's what I was telling people about my fight. I've had 6 fights. Okay? I've had 6 fights. You wanna know how many times I've been punched in the face?
I can't think of one, honestly.
One time. TK hit me in the face in the 5th round with overhand. I was a little tired. Guard was down. But he just hit me, but it was so soft. I didn't feel it. I really didn't feel it at all.
You know, I need to ask you that question. Has your chin been tested, whether in practice or...
In practice, yes. Now, the thing is,
what's that mean, though?
The thing is, you don't want to get your chin tested too much in practice.
You'll lose it.
You'll lose it because that's what happened to Luke Rockhold. That's what happened to guys like Chuck Liddell. You will see their fights and like, man, they look good. You know, they ain't getting in much. But their sparring sessions are wars.
That's how it was back then, though.
Yeah, that's how it was back then, sadly.
Mm-hmm.
And the wars was happening in the gym.
The best fights ever were happening in the gym.
That's right. You're right.
They'll say that.
They'll tell you.
Yeah.
You're right. The best fights they were ever happening was in the gym. So when it came to fight time, all they get was touched and they're going to sleep. And you're like, man, what happened to Luke Rockhold? Man, what happened to Michael Bisping? Man, what happened to Anderson Silva? You know, man, what happened to Chuck Liddell and all these guys? These guys get touched one time because they lost their chin in training. So we are mindful on how we spar. See, I'm starting to get, well, I'm not to that level yet because I have to spar.
That
I'm not that
Max
good,
Holloway level?
but that Max Holloway level. So Max Holloway don't spar anymore because he's on at his point in his career. He's right. He's like, you don't teach a football player that's been in the league for 10 years how to keep tackling.
Yeah.
You're not going to teach Tom Brady how to throw. You know, them guys don't necessarily have to go live because when it's game time, I'm 100% sure Ray Lewis didn't have to go to spring practice or training camp necessarily. And when game time came, he was ready to go.
Mm-mm.
Like, come on. Now, he did it because he's a hard worker, you know, respectful. But those guys, when you see a lot of those top tier guys in the NFL miss training camp, same thing with NBA, they miss it. Because what are you going to teach them? Besides the plays.
Practice.
I'm about to say
practice.
Yeah.
Talking about practice.
Now, that's the good thing. Now, that separates sometimes some of the guys that become champion and not, you know, some of the guys that still go to those things and become really good and they're champions and stuff. But the amount of times to spar and go hard, you want to work more on your skill set.
Mm-hmm.
So drill, drilling, pad work, situational wrestling, situational striking, situational jiu-jitsu. That's the better things to go for than for me, like, all right, we're going as hard as we can. I'm trying to hit you as hard as I can. You hit me as hard as I can, back and forth. Those are not good things to consistently do. Now, it's good. Like when I'm in camp, I have about 3 of those.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's good to have about 3 of those. That's it.
How far out from the fight?
I stop full go sparring 3 weeks before fights. Every week. I do 3 weeks. The reason why, because when we do go hard, I mean, we feel it.
Yeah.
We feel it. So most of the time, I usually, take that time. The third week, getting ready. Plus, I'm also doing weight cut stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So now I can't go as hard because I don't have as much in me. But we have an incredible nutritionist named Brian Ring. He's so incredible. And we follow the Tyler Mitten process, who also does cuts for Kobe, Usman, Habib, DC, all those guys.
Yeah.
So we follow his process and it works so
Did it work flawlessly again this time?
Oh, perfect. Oh my gosh. Dude, cutting is easy if you do it correctly, man. It's not bad at all.
Did you still eat Chipotle the whole time?
Yes, I was. Actually, dude, I was eating a double cheeseburger, no bread. So I'm gonna run you a little bit through how the cut works. All right. So all the way through training camp, I'm drinking about 4 weeks out. I should be drinking water anyway, but about 4 weeks out and 3 weeks out, I'm drinking a gallon of water every day. Okay. No more. I'm eating light carbs. So rice, the chicken, vegetables. People got to understand the difference between slow carbs and fast carbs.
Yeah.
Okay. Fast carbs, sugary stuff,
Yeah.
fruit, that type of stuff like that.
Yeah.
You got slow carbs. That's the vegetable. That's the rice.
Yeah.
The bread.
Yeah.
So you eat some slow carbs and a few little bit fast carbs.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it gets to the week of the time to actually cut, all right, I cut out carbs, all carbs. So I don't eat vegetables and I don't eat fruit.
Mm-hmm.
I only eat proteins and fats.
Mm-hmm.
So all I was eating was, like you said, I was eating a bunch of chicken, a bunch of steak, avocado and cheese.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I would eat. I eat that every 3 hours, alternating 2 proteins, 1 fat, 2 fats, 1 protein, every 3 hours alternating.
Mm-hmm.
And every single day from Sunday till Thursday, I have to drink 2 gallons of water.
Mm-hmm.
Now you would think, man, that's a lot. It's going to be really hard to eat when you're drinking 2 gallons of water. So it's hard. It is tough, but you got to drink. You always drink it. Dude, I'm peeing every 10 minutes. It's crazy. But I'm also eating every 3 hours.
Mm-hmm. So
you eating, and then it was time for me to cut the day of the cut. So I start that cut noon of Thursday.
you're cutting one day.
I cut one day. That's all I do. Yep, I cut one day. I get in the sauna.
What do you weigh?
I'm weighing, so this time I weighed 197.
You gotta be 185.
At 185.
Okay.
So 12 pounds over. Dude, get in the sauna. I did the sauna for 2 hours. I got all the way down to 190. Boom. I know. It was crazy. And I'm not drained. Because
is that 4 30-minute sessions?
So
2-hour sessions?
So I do 2 30-minute sessions in a hot sauna. But to me, I love the portable sauna. But if you do the stuff correctly, you're going to sweat profusely like crazy because your body is already 70% of water. So you've been drinking this 2 gallons of water and you trick your body. Your body's like, oh man, okay, 2 gallons of water. I've been getting this every day for the past 4 days. All right, where is that? Oh, it's not here. I need that 2 gallons of water. So it starts sucking the water from your already inside of your body.
Mm-hmm.
And then boom, you cut all that water off and you sweat it out. That's when you lose the 7 pounds. And then I went to bed. I actually ate a little yogurt. I actually ate a little yogurt before I went to bed, before I went to Macon.
Mm-hmm.
Went to bed at 192. Yes, and that's how much freaking little small thing of yogurt is, 2 pounds. But I went to bed at 192. I woke up at 187. All I had to do, all I did was got in the
portable sauna.
Actually, just freaking Epsom salt bath, hot water.
Yep.
For 30 minutes. That was it. Boom, got out. And for this fight, in Georgia, is a little different. It's 185 plus 2. Mm-hmm. So I could have made it 187. I was already there. But you just don't ever, when you're cutting weight, you don't ever just trust one scale. Mm-hmm. You got to do it because every scale, you know how these scales are. So you got to make sure. So I have to make sure.
Where the earth is and the moon's gravitational pull.
Yeah.
It's true, though.
You got to take that into account. So you do your weight and you just make sure you get as under as possible, not to kill yourself. Mm-hmm. So I waited at 186.2 and I was perfect. The weight cut went perfect, man. And I walked in the cage at 200. So yeah, I gained 14 pounds. Got my I loaded back up with water. Then right after you get off that scale, I'm drinking a bunch of water, and then 2, I'm eating everything, dude. I ate like cheese fries with bacon, steak.
Oh, so you don't care? You just
Oh, I don't care.
Okay.
Now you gotta be mindful, but you just can't start eating like all type of sweets and stuff. But
Yeah.
like
food.
Yeah, we went to like Outback and I ate like steak and all type of bread and fries and broccoli.
Food never tastes so good than when you're dieting.
Yes, dude.
It's like if you're not dieting, it's like McDonald's, Burger King, whatever you want. And then you go on a diet, it's like man,
it shows you how much you miss it, dude. Like, bro, we had went to Waffle House when I was cutting, and we was getting back from one of the fights, and I was there, and I was like, all I can have is eggs and a sausage, and I'm seeing everybody eating the pancake. I mean, not pancakes, the waffles in front of me and everything else, and I'm like, God, can I just get a little cut of your waffle? Can I get a little piece of your waffle? Put a little syrup.
a waffle weigh 4 pounds by the time you eat it.
Right. So yeah, so the weight cut thing, man, and that's beneficial. And you know, while we're talking about that, that's going to be big because Jorge was saying when he got bigger against Kobe, once he started like fighting at 170, Kobe started getting away from him.
Didn't want to spar with him.
He didn't want to spar with him. He didn't want to wrestle with him anymore. So that's going to play a factor. It's a bigger Jorge. Jorge is probably going to walk. So I didn't. My teammates did. But Kobe Covington came to Agoge one time.
Did he?
Yeah, he
like
came
here recently?
It was last year.
Okay.
Came there last year. His sister's
in town, like as a Orange Theory or something.
Yeah. And he had to find a gym, come down. I don't know what he came down here for. But he said he walks around like 184, 183. He walks around that. So let's say 185. All right, he walks around 185. He cuts to 70. That's not even a big cut. 15 pounds.
He's really a 55er.
Basically, he is. But he just fights it where he's comfortable at. And plus, when you got cardio like that, it really don't really ain't matter, to be honest. Because Kobe really ain't known for his power like that.
Yeah.
He's known for his pace. But Jorge cuts from like 190, 192, 193. So he's going to be much bigger than Kobe when he steps in that cage. So when Kobe takes some of those shots, he's going to be feeling some of that muscle. He's going to be feeling some of that extra few pounds. Don't be crazy, y'all. An extra 5 to 10 pounds is a huge difference when you step in that cage. Because a sprawl here and a sprawl there, extra effort to fight for a takedown, extra effort to fight for an underhook, it adds up, man. It adds up. So that's why I'm leaning a little bit more to Masvidal, because he's going to be the bigger fighter in there as well, man. So,
Ethan, can you find the odds on that? I need to find the...
I bet Kobe's the favorite.
Kobe's for sure the favorite.
Yeah, I bet Kobe's the favorite.
But now you got me wanting to go Masvidal on the odds.
It's close. I mean, you might want to do a parlay if you want to do something like that.
If Masvidal's over he's plus 255.
Damn.
Oh, Jesus. Wow.
I mean,
y'all should throw about $10 on that.
Shit.
Just throw $10 on that at least.
I mean,
that's some odds. That's some odds, bro.
I mean, RDA and the guy that's replacing him,
Monarch or something. I don't know.
Whatever. It should have been Islam.
So, do you agree with that? Islam getting, so Islam was going to get the title shot. Now, yes, has Islam beaten a right amount of guys as he's supposed to get the title shot? No. But when you're sitting here asking everybody to fight, you're willing to fight anybody, and everybody turning you down, what am I supposed to do? Y'all fight who's in front of me. I mean, heck, I was running into some of the same stuff on a lower scale, but
yeah,
everybody, I accepted. You can ask any promoter. Anytime they said, yes. Ask my manager, Ray. Yes. I said yes to all of them because I didn't think they could beat me in what I could do, especially if I did me. I don't think anybody really can beat me.
Right.
But the problem was guys would pull out.
Yeah.
So opponents change, and you be like, well, freak. And then, yes, you might face an opponent that's not to the caliber of the opponent you originally going to face. So you might be looking at him like, man, he ain't fought nobody. Well, not necessarily. It's the fact that I've accepted all the somebodies, but the somebodies would decline. So the nobodies step in, and that's what happened for Islam. Islam has faults you can consider. I don't consider Tiago Moses a nobody. I don't consider Dan Hooker a nobody. And heck, Bobby Green has been having some really good performances. Now, yes, it's his fault. He took this fight on short notice, but
he dominated.
He did dominate
everyone.
He dominated
everyone.
Every single one of them. 10-fight win streak.
It's not like he's winning split decisions and he's
Exactly.
calling for a title shot. He's on a 10-fight win streak, which is the second most in the league right now in the UFC. And his coach is Khabib, who says he's the guy.
He is.
And you can look at Khabib for over his entire career. He's not the most charismatic, has terrible personality, more so after he's retired. But he tells you the truth, what he thinks the truth is.
He does.
And I believe him.
Regardless of what he say.
Has he even lost as a coach? As a head coach, not as in a corner. Has Khabib lost as a coach?
I don't know, actually. You might be right. I don't think he has.
As the head guy, since he's retired, because he only puts his cart to certain horses.
Yes, you're right. You're right. He don't be in the corner for all them Nurmagomedovs.
This ain't no AT&T. If you're an AT&T, Mike Brown's in your corner.
Yeah.
That ain't Khabib.
That's not Khabib. You're right about that.
You better be ready to win.
You better.
He's over there playing cheat codes.
Yeah, dude. I love listening to Khabib when he was in the corner of Islam. Be patient, brother. Be patient. Be patient. It's there. Pressure. He's talking to him as he was fighting.
Yeah.
Islam fights just like Khabib. He really does. And I can say Islam is like a little bit of a better striker, but I can't even go into that case because Khabib striking is not bad. So when you talk about striking, people think, okay, you got Conor, you got Anderson Silva, or you got,
Izzy.
Izzy, yeah. When you see striking, that's what you think of.
Yeah. Okay.
But when you say striking, it's called striking, effective striking. So Usman is nowhere close to the level of striking in Israel, but his striking is effective because of his wrestling.
Yes. The
same way Khabib is. Khabib's striking is really good. He caught Conor with the overhand because of his wrestling.
How many people have dropped Conor?
Exactly. Who's around here dropping Conor? Like nobody else was doing that. That actually was the first time Conor did get dropped. Mm-hmm. So you have to understand and realize people have effective striking compared to. So if I wanted to go become a really good striker, where I go to Khabib and say, hey, Beeb, teach me how to strike like Izzy. No. Teach me how to strike like Anderson Silva. No. But if you want to talk about effective striking to help work with your game, he's one of the best guys to mixing it all up together. Mm-hmm. That's what Usman is. Usman is really good mixing it all up. If you say, hey, Usman just pure boxing, you probably would beat him. Usman just pure wrestling, you're not going to beat Usman just pure wrestling. Pure jiu-jitsu, okay, you might get a chance in that.
Yeah.
But mixing it all up, same thing with Khabib, Islam, Hazmat, it's just a different beast, man. That's why it's called mixed martial arts. Yeah. And
Sambo is the closest to it.
Yes, it is.
That is like an actual sport that these guys treat like soccer
yeah.
in Russia.
They grow up and they're like, this is what you're going to do. If not.
Well, think about it. You said you're like an adult is not going to learn wrestling better than I learned wrestling because I've done it my whole life. Mm-hmm. Right. Well, some of these Russians in Dagestan, you ain't going to learn fighting better than these Russians know fighting because they've been fighting since they was 4.
That's right.
But and that's real. Like that's their culture.
That's their culture. And they make those kids run. They make those kids train. Dude, those kids I've seen some of those kids are crying and they're making them like stand up, like holding up like breaks and stuff, like sitting in blocks. Hold it. And they're getting ready to drop it. They'll hit them. And like, oh, and they're crying. They're like 6, 7 years old. Imagine having to go through that at 6, 7. But then now they're like, who's going to touch a kid like that? I dare you to go and bully a kid like that. Hey, look, I love America. I love the flag right there behind it.
That's right.
Salute. But if an American kid tried to bully a 7-year-old Russian kid that's training in Sambo, go try to bully a Nurmagomedov that's 7 years old.
Yeah. First of all, if their last name is Nurmagomedov, I advise you stay away.
You stay away.
Just don't even get within arm's reach of them. Just treat them as if they're in a cage. Hey, how are you? I was just visiting and wanted to know how you breathe.
Yeah. So let's be mindful on like who we're dealing. That's why their records are like crazy. Like Umar is like what 22-0 or something. You know, Islam is.
There's another Nurmagomedov on the card.
Yeah, Umar Nurmagomedov. He used
Okay.
to fight in Bellator. You know, he mopped the floor with almost all the guys in Bellator. So now he's in the UFC and probably gonna. I think he is like a 700 favorite for his fight.
And he's fighting Brian Keller.
Exactly.
Like he's no slouch.
He's probably gonna go in. He's gonna smash.
He's gonna smash you. He's gonna be first round. You'll finish him.
Probably.
I know these things.
Probably so.
Like the fact that I didn't take Islam to finish Bobby Green in the first round in a bet because it was like plus 200, but it still frustrates me that I didn't take that bet.
Wow, that was plus 200
for him to finish him in the first round.
Who these guys? When I saw what he did to Dan Hooker,
I know. I don't know why I didn't.
I'm sitting here like he's gonna, bro.
Yeah, first round finish was like for like plus 200.
Look, it is the only fight that really interests me would be Islam and Oliveira. But Oliveira do got to get through Gaethje because
it might be his weakness.
I'm gonna tell you something, man. The shots that Oliveira has taken in his past few fights, Chandler should have beat him. I don't know why Chandler jumped in his guard like an idiot, but Chandler should have beat Oliveira.
Yeah.
Dustin Poirier should have beat Oliveira.
Here's what I hate about Dustin. Dustin just falls apart when the lights are on him. Like when he should do something good.
Yeah.
He's got to always be the underdog, and it drives me crazy.
He takes the underdog role so much. I mean, it's good to try to, but like sometimes you got to go in there confident.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be here. Like Oliveira. Oliveira has taken on that role. At first, he took on the underdog role. Then he got to the point like, I'm the champion. I'm supposed to be
better
here.
than these guys.
I'm better than, exactly. Now he has that little brass confidence about him. That's the point where I'm like, well, I don't know if anybody is going to beat Oliveira, anytime soon, You start thinking like that.
But then you start thinking, like, okay, so Islam, Dana's, listen, I know what Dana's doing. So Dana went on, I think his, one of the ESPN shows or Fox shows today. He's doing the media circuit. And he said Conor would be back in fall.
Yeah.
All right. The same day, just a couple of days ago, he said Islam was next to get the fight.
He did just say that a few days ago.
Okay. Then a little bit of conflict comes up about how Islam turns down a fight that we don't even really know if that even happened or not. But
on 7 days' notice.
Yeah. So now, after just fighting, right, and being told he's getting the title shot.
Exactly.
Okay.
Who's going to take a 7-day notice fight?
So then, and to fight a dangerous RDA that's not an easy out whatsoever, back end of his career, but not an easy out. And now you're going to say, since you didn't take that fight to save the show, now you got to fight one more person to get to the title. But you go and say, well, if Conor comes back and Charles wants to fight Conor, I'm not going to not make that fight.
Yeah, it's the champion. He does whatever you want.
And guess what's crazy about that? That's a bad matchup for Charles.
Yes, it is. Because I feel like, so now, yes, we can sit here and talk about the ground game of Conor. Ground game Conor is going to be, I will say Oliveira will submit him really fast.
Sure.
It's not going to be long.
Sure.
If he gets to the ground. But if Oliveira gets hit with some of those same shots, especially with how big Conor looking right now, I feel like if he gets hit by those shots with Gaethje, he's not going to be standing. Now, his chin can only take so much. Because this man has been he's been getting hit these last few fights.
Yes.
And
hard.
Let's say if he makes it out of a fight against Gaethje the same way he fought Dustin or Chandler, where he gets pieced up a little bit, but finds a way to get him to the ground and get a submission. I don't know how long that's going to keep lasting. I don't know how long that type of style will keep lasting. He's tough. I'm giving it to you. He's tough. But your chin can only take so much. He's been getting dropped. Like, he gets dropped. It's not like he's been getting buzzed and stunned. He got dropped by Chandler. He got dropped by Poirier. More like he might get dropped by Gaethje. But I think if he gets touched by Gaethje, Gaethje going to put him out cold. It ain't going to be no dropping, get a chance to be on your back. I'm not going to take you on. Like, guys been scared to get on the ground with him. That's the main thing.
Yep.
But I feel like if he gets dropped by Gaethje gonna put them things on him like.
He's got that almost, almost special strength.
Yeah, he got that umph in that punch.
Yeah.
But if Conor was to do it, see, that's the thing. That's what's gonna make a lot of people mad. Because let's say if Conor does go in there and knocks him out and takes the title after losing his last 2 fights, that's gonna cause, it's gonna be hectic, dude. It's gonna be so hectic.
He'll go on a superstar level that hasn't even been seen yet.
It will, and it's gonna be switched. It's gonna be from everybody loving him
To hate him again.
to everybody hating him.
And he'll go straight into it.
It's gonna be like Stone Cold almost.
Stone Cold joining Vince McMahon.
Yes.
Him and Dana about
Him
to
and
be
Dana.
doing the authority.
Yes, that's exactly what it would be.
Yeah.
You're right. Oh my goodness.
But think about it. Think about the possibilities of that fight. First of all, either Charles or Gaethje's going to win. 2 bad matches for both of them. Conor.
Yeah. I think a Conor and Gaethje fight. Oh my.
It's going to be like Gaethje and Dustin. Which one's going to get dropped the most and which one's just not going to get back up?
Not neither, because they ain't going to the ground. Oh Lord, they ain't going to the ground.
The only reason why Justin uses his wrestling to not go to the ground.
Is not to go, exactly.
So he won't even train that.
No, he won't. That's the crazy part about it. And that's the reason why I think Gaethje could have already been world champion.
But Gaethje with those leg kicks.
Oh
but then you're going to be kicking a titanium rod.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm serious.
It's going to hurt.
His lead leg's a titanium rod.
Yeah,
now.
it is. I mean, yeah.
So you want to kick metal? Okay, go ahead.
Hey, the Gaethje a crazy son gun though. You see, he's crazy. He's one of those crazy guys.
But he's so crazy. He's our modern day Chuck Liddell. So
I can see that.
Yeah, I mean, he uses his wrestling, a wrestler that uses his wrestling to not wrestle, to brawl.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's how I relate to it.
I can see that.
Modern day Chuck Liddell. So he's been in so many wars. His chin's got to go soon.
You're right. And that's another thing. Like Gaethje, you know, every fight Gaethje's ever been in has been fight of the night, probably besides the Habib one where he got mauled.
Yeah.
You know, besides that one, name a Gaethje fight that's ever been boring. Name a Gaethje fight where the James Vick fight, the Michael Johnson fight, the Dustin Poirier fight, the Eddie Alvarez fight, Michael Chandler, Tony Ferguson. Every single one of his fights have been absolute wars. It's been like, oh, Gaethje's fighting, you better turn the TV on.
Yep.
You know, like,
no, seriously.
And him fighting like that is gonna add up eventually. Like,
he has no personality. Kills me.
Nah, he ain't got no personality.
But
if he had a personality, he'll sell a bunch of money.
Yeah,
he made a bunch of money
yeah,
already.
that's just what kills me about
He
that.
probably, I mean, obviously, he probably already got a lot of money, but he would have had like just crazy amount because everybody like he's the type of guy where everybody be like, I'm tired of seeing wrestlers. I don't want to see no wrestler. Well, Gaethje is the guy you want to watch.
Yeah,
but the problem is Gaethje don't have that person. If he had like a person not even like close to like Kobe or Masvidal, he would the ticket sales be out of this world, boy.
So let's fantasy book, and we're about to get to wrestling too. Speaking of wrestling,
I can't wait.
Fantasy book: Habib versus Charles.
We've talked about this fight a lot at the gym. We're so 50-50 on that with a lot of guys at the gym. So I'm like this. Charles Oliveira Jiu-Jitsu is out of this world, next level. All right? It is. If you go to the ground with him on his back, he has the most submissions on his back. He surely is going to have a lot of submissions. Yeah, I think he got the most submissions in UFC history.
Yeah.
So, but Habib's pressure is just different. And plus, Habib walks around 200, 190.
Yeah, heavyweight Khabib right now is awesome.
Exactly. He cuts to 155.
He could beat Ngannou right now.
Hey, look.
Why not just bump up?
Hey, he would be one of those guys that would be really hard. Like a bunch of heavyweights that used to train like with Habib. We even say when Habib gets on top, I can't move.
What are you gonna do?
I can't.
You
Exactly.
bend down and hit him. He's what, 5'10"?
Exactly. Like it's gonna be hard. I think the weight distribution for Habib being bigger, Habib being stronger, is gonna play a factor. But the jiu-jitsu of Charles will be. I think Habib will win. I think Habib will win probably by I don't know how. I really don't know because I don't know because Habib ain't submitting him.
So what pisses me off about boxing and about MMA right now, though.
Yeah.
Why can't we just get MMA does a good job of getting the two best guys in there.
They do.
But it's not like Habib's out of his prime.
It's not.
Why can't we get two of the top guys in the cage to figure out who the champion is?
We should. I think Habib for one will, but I don't. Like everybody wanted to see Habib and GSP. I really didn't care for that fight.
Man,
the reason because GSP is older, so
Habib would beat GSP right now.
Exactly.
Like, I wouldn't even watch. I mean, I would watch it.
I would watch it, yeah. But like we already like Roy Jones and Mike Tyson. Man, them two old guys, I don't
Yeah.
care for that fight, but we watch it.
Watch it. I knew it was going to happen.
Floyd and Logan Paul. Man, I don't care for that bull crap.
Got my $55.
But my eyes was my eyes was sadly on it, you know. But that's what I'm saying. Like Habib will beat GSP, and Habib was right. He was like, "I'll be damned if I did. I'll be damned if I don't." Like if I went in there and beat GSP, oh well, he was old. He ain't beat him in his prime. If you lose to him, man, you lost to an old GSP. So like it'll be more like it's a lose-lose situation. And he's right. And the same thing for him, like going to fight Floyd. Floyd offered Habib $100 million to box him.
It's not about money for him.
And Habib turned it down. Habib said, I don't care for money.
That part of the world don't care about that. They're more about what their values.
Their values, exactly. And that's why Habib is the way he is. That's why I don't think he will really come back regardless. Now, he did talk about, you know, if somebody was to beat Islam, and he might think about doing it, you know, to get to 30-0. To me, I feel a little salty about that anyway. Like, why stop at 29-0? What the heck is that? That would be like The Undertaker retiring at 19-0. What?
Yeah.
Get to 20. Come on, Habib. Get to 30.
Yeah.
Just one more. You know, like.
Get to 30 while you're in your prime against the best, retire, and then think about coming back when you're 35.
Yeah.
And then if somebody does beat you, you're just an old Habib.
Yeah. So, yeah.
You know?
The record, I'm about to say, it wouldn't really matter then.
Yeah.
Because we know who the prime was. The same thing like with Prime Anderson Silva. Prime Anderson Silva, he would mop the floor with most of these middleweights right now.
Yeah.
Like, Izzy, now I know Izzy did beat him, yes.
But it went to a decision.
And went to a decision when he was, dude.
And he wasn't trying to get real close to him.
Dude, if Anderson Silva in his prime, dude.
That'd been a good fight.
Dude.
But see, that's what we say. You know, somebody in his prime versus somebody in his prime. You got Charles, who's dominant.
He is dominant.
And Habib, who's dominant.
Yeah.
Well,
it's there.
And they're both ground games?
I know.
I don't understand.
I know, man. It's dumb to me. You know, it's like if you see two stars getting ready to come up, why not make the big fight? Why not make the big money fight? Very similar to like how WWE would do it.
Yeah.
You see two big time stars coming up. Now, the thing with the WWE, they didn't want sometimes to make the big time stars too fast.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not make Batista versus John Cena too early.
Yeah.
Let's let them build a little bit. Now, I will say, obviously, John Cena rose up to a higher level than Batista. I think Batista fell off a little bit. When they made that match at WrestleMania 26, I think that match was a little bit over past due, you know? But when you got a guy like at the top already, like Stone Cold on a Rock, let it build up a little bit and then let those guys go at it.
Yeah.
That's the way the UFC is doing it. They're letting certain guys build all the way up and then let them go at it. Because I think now, like Hosmat, don't throw Hosmat in the fire too fast. You know, now Gilbert Burns is a good test. That'll be a tough test. Now, I'm gonna tell you something. If this man go ahead and beat Gilbert Burns in the first round,
like, and it's dominant,
he deserves a title shot. I don't care if he only been in the UFC for 4 or 5 fights. I don't care. It don't even matter anymore because nobody does that to Gilbert Burns. The champion even dominate. Like Gilbert Burns won the first round against Kamaru Usman. And he was almost winning the second to that
almost
jab.
Finished him in the first round.
He almost finished him because I never seen Usman get stumbled like
those
that.
legs, ooh, look like a deer.
Yeah, they were moving, baby. They were moving. So, and then I actually think he could beat Izzy. I think his style matches up well with Izzy.
It's bad. I mean, Jan beat Izzy. And Jan's not a great wrestler. He's just bigger and stronger.
And stronger.
Man him.
And I think Hosmat has that strength.
Yes.
With
grown man strength.
Exactly.
Yeah. He's got the wrestling strength.
The wrestling strength.
Jan just had strength.
Strength. There you go. It's a difference.
Yeah.
It's a difference, man. I tell people all that. Like guys that work out, they're like, I'll work out, do this. Yeah. But it's different from a wrestler's strength, man. It's a wrestler's neck, a wrestler's base, a wrestler posture, a wrestler cuff. Like, I mean, I've had the opportunity to train with Nate Carr. And Nate Carr, his dad was an Olympian. And, you know, you feel those guys, like, touch your neck. And you're like, man, if you wanted to kill me, you have the opportunity to. Now, I was young.
Yeah.
But, like, that grip, I can't get away from that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, think about that feeling. So, a feeling of, okay, I'm going to tussle around with this guy, just see what he is. And then you feel it and you go, oh, so he could just kill me.
Yes.
Like that guy could just like take the breath out of my body.
And I can't do nothing.
And I can't do anything about it. So I'm gonna keep acting tough right now, but that's what could happen.
Yes.
You know, that's scary.
That is scary because, like, that's what I feel like guys felt with Habib. Like, when Poirier said, when Habib got on top, he was like, I couldn't do anything. I just couldn't do anything. Like, I couldn't do, like, he couldn't get up. He couldn't do anything.
Think about this, and this is not even me being just like a fanboy of Khamzat. I think in 3 months back to back, not even training for the fights, just doing what he's doing right now. I think he could beat Usman this weekend. I think next month he could beat Izzy, and I think the next month he could beat Glover. And I don't know if he gets touched 20 times.
Wow. That's a bold take, I will say. Because I think his toughest fight out of those three you just said would potentially be Usman. I think Usman will be tough. Usman's going to be tough for him. I think Usman might land a few shots. But now, obviously you watched the Kobe Covington Usman too. You saw Kobe, all the viewers at home, Kobe got that takedown. Okay?
That was a takedown.
Kobe did get that takedown. I don't care if Usman has never been taken down in his career.
Hand on the
That's
ground,
a law.
takedown.
That's a takedown. You got taken down.
2 points.
It won't be. That's right. 2. It won't be no question when Khamzat get in there. I know Usman wrestle. I know he's the NAIA champion, but Khamzat gonna get that man to the ground.
Here's the thing about Colby. Usman was never scared about getting dropped by Colby with one shot.
No.
So, with that being the case, he can focus on everything else.
Yeah.
Khamzat, he's not worried about getting dropped, getting killed, getting choked out, getting taken down, getting wrist broke, arm broke, knee broke. Like, he's the type of guy that he just said, oh, you just had wrist surgery and you got bad knees? Or I break knee and rip wrist off. Like, that's his mentality.
That's his mentality. That's how he thinks.
And then I'll fight Izzy after this one, and I'll fight you in the prelim. I fight Usman in the early prelims. I fight Izzy in the prelims. Then I'll fight Glover in the main card.
He asked Dana for that. He wanted 2 fights on one card. Dana said, "No, we're never doing that." You know, he said, "I would do that." Khamzat said he would do that. He would fight 2 fights on one card.
He'd be perfect in the mid-90s.
They
would just fight all day.
Oh yes. Oh man.
He'd still be beating Royce Gracie up.
Yeah, he would have smashed all those guys, especially his ground and pound and dude. And he's only a blue belt in jiu-jitsu.
Now watch him come out and get whooped by Gilbert, and we're just idiots.
I know. We're sitting here like
I'm over here hyping. I'm gonna delete this episode.
We sound like nothing. But I think he beat Gilbert some way. I just don't think Gilbert's big enough. He's a big boy. Khamzat is a huge.
Yeah, how big of a man? Like, I know he fights all different levels, but like, how big is he?
So he had to cut to 185 when he did that wrestling match against Jack Hermanson. He had to cut to 185, and he looked bigger than Jack Hermanson, who fights at 185. So this man probably cutting from 205 to 170.
So 205 would be the first test to where he's kind of fighting at his weight.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. He'd have to fight. I don't like him fighting like a super skilled 205er, but a old man Glover, I'll take him.
I think Glover should have retired after he beat Jan.
Yeah, he should have won the belt and got out.
Hey, got out. You're old. And you won the belt. Why are you sitting here trying to fight freaking Jiri Porzakas? That man's gonna kill. I think he's gonna kill Glover.
That's Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat looking dude.
Yeah, the Mortal Kombat. Yeah, the man who screams in the woods. He be like, it's crazy.
He's also one of those where like,
but his chin get touched a lot.
Yeah, like he's one of those if he's not what they're trying to market him to be, and him market because he's got a little personality. He's marketed himself. He's not dumb. Mm-hmm. If he's not what he thinks he is, Glover go in there and old man him.
Oh, I think Glover could old man take him down and just submit him,
just like he's done the past 5 guys.
Yeah.
That should have beat him.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I've been getting beat on the parlays by Glover for 2 years now.
Yeah, you better stop betting against Glover. I didn't think Jan was going to lose to him. I thought it was going to be the super matchup, Jan versus Jiri. I was going to be excited for that, but now Jan is fighting Alexander Rocket, which is a 50-50 fight. You know, you went from champion to, I don't know, man. It's just weird. It is,
right?
It's just weird. It's just hard for me to see Glover Teixeira as the champ.
First of all, Jan being champ confused me.
That was already weird in itself.
Dana's not dumb. He's not marketable. That guy's not marketable whatsoever.
Nah,
he's not going to sell any pay-per-views. Don't matter who you put him with. The only way he'd sell pay-per-views is put him with John. And
yeah.
And that's the only reason why.
Well, John would have beat him.
John would have. It'd have been a a boring fight. He'd have never got close to him. He just,
Bro.
just touched him and got away.
I've been waiting on the John Izzy fight for the longest myself.
Izzy don't want that.
Izzy don't want that.
After seeing what Jan did to him, John hurt him.
John would, especially.
Yeah, if you want to go kickbox or something, maybe. I don't know. But MMA is not kickboxing.
It's not.
And John, everybody acts like John's just some dude that, is just, he accidentally got good. John didn't even try and became the best.
He became the greatest of all. He is the greatest of all time. Yes, you can throw all the PED, steroids, and all that stuff.
And take the off the field out of it.
Yeah, I'm about to say it's not about off the field. We're talking about only in the cage. Because for one, he was going to beat DC regardless.
Mm-hmm.
2, nobody came close to beating him besides Dominic Reyes. I thought when I watched that fight, I did think Dominic beat him at the time.
Watching it back, you had different thoughts. Huh?
I watched it back, have different thoughts, but I'm going to say this as well. I could make a case. I know this sounds stupid, but you can make a case when John Jones. I think John Jones didn't take some of those fights as serious because he he can beat those guys. So it was never after DC. That was really never a fight. You was like,
so think about
this guy can beat John.
Gustafsson the first time was the closest person to beating John.
That was
even with Dominique. Sure. Okay,
that was close.
So what happens? You fight him another time, and you think, "Oh, I almost got him that time. I'm gonna get him." Well, now he took you serious.
Yeah, and you see,
and he gets you up out there real quick.
Yeah,
and it was not even close to close.
That's what I'm saying.
DC first fight
decision.
Get you up out there next time.
Yes,
he take you a little bit more serious this time.
Yes, he take you a little bit more serious because those guys came close. But that's what I was saying. Like if he was to fight Dominic Reyes the second time, he would kill him.
Where's Dominic Reyes even at? Does he even fight anymore?
Dude, he got knocked out by Young and got knocked out by Yuri.
Does he even He can fight anymore?
Yeah, I think he got. I don't know if he got to fight somebody else.
He's one of those that he peaked.
He peaked at that time, and that was his best opportunity.
Yeah.
And you got to take advantage of a not excited John Jones because if you don't, and as everybody's seen, you're not going to be. And that's what I'm saying. Even on he's fighting these guys not on his best day. I really truly believe that until he gets a fight that excites him, and that's the reason why I want to see him versus Ngannou. That's the only fight that excites him. Now, I think the Stipe fight excites him, but I think he just walks through Stipe, in my opinion.
He's bigger than Stipe.
He is.
People talking
230.
Talking about John being small. John's walking around like, okay. Now he's going through some issues right now. I don't know any of the details or whatever, but nobody wants to see that somebody got left, even if it was his fault. Whatever. I don't know any of the details, but so he's going through some problems. Yeah. But still, just to be able to go from like walking around at 220 to walking around at 270 and still training and not just weightlifting. He's working with Stan Efferding, who has the vertical diet, who is his specialty is taking athletes and driving performance through meat and rice and food.
Oh, I like that.
So that's who he's working with. Like, and they're both out there in Vegas. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. There's not a person on the planet that beats John at MMA.
No, I don't see it either. I don't think Francis' best shot was to land that power shot. But I don't think he can. I just think John is too smart. John has fought 27 times. He's 26-1.
And he's 27-0.
Yeah, he is 27-0. I mean, he was whooping that guy's tail, and then he just threw an illegal elbow.
Yeah.
And and if anybody remembers seeing that fight, he was actually throwing correct elbows, legal elbows, and then he just threw an illegal one that actually caused a knockout.
Yeah.
But he was already destroying the guy.
Yeah. So then you think, look at his resume and Habib's resume.
Yes, dude. Bro, I went through a list one time and I looked and saw all the guys that John Jones was fighting. You probably have it better on yours. Let me see. So you go through the list and see all the guys John Jones fought coming up. It's actually one of the craziest things you'll see.
Yeah, it's called the UFC Hall of Fame.
I know.
Not during the end of their careers either, really. Like when they were like,
in their prime.
Some of the ones that he beat that maybe were on the tail end were in the middle of the non-USADA era.
Right. So you got Stephan Bonner. All right. Ryan Brader. Marcia Rua. We already know about him. Quentin Jackson. Yoda Machida, Rashad Evans, Vitor Belfort, Shell Sonnen, Alexander Gustafsson, Glover Teixeira,
The champ. The current champ.
The current champ. OSP, DC again.
Heavyweight champ.
Gustafsson. Then that's when the fights got boring for him. Anthony Smith, Thiago Santos, Dominic Reyes.
Nobody in the light heavyweight division to fight.
No, like, bro. So you got Bader, Rua, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You got 12 for sure straight Hall of Famers in a row. 12 for sure straight Hall of Famers in a row. That in itself is better than almost anybody else's resume. Now, I know a lot of people want to throw it to GSP. Yes, GSP has a really good resume as well. But he has blunders, and there's nothing against GSP. Yes, GSP is one of the greatest. You can make a case he is to go. And there's nothing against him. But he has blunders that John Jones don't have. The same thing that I have a little bit, the same with Michael Jordan and LeBron. LeBron has some blunders that MJ just don't have. Same thing with Brady and some of these other guys. Aaron Rodgers got a lot of blunders that Brady just don't have. Now, yes, Brady do got a few blunders, but still, you look at the whole resume, the totality of the resume. What John Jones' resume compared to GSP? John Jones never had a fight where he lost to a guy that he had considerable. He was a considerable favorite over. You know, he never lost that. He didn't lose to Matt. He lost to Matt Serra. He lost to Matt. What's the other Matt name?
Yeah, I went blank too. Hughes.
Matt Hughes. You know, he didn't. John Jones never had those two blunders. There was never a Matt Serra. There was never John Jones losing to, Dominic Reyes. You know, I mean, you could have thought he lost, but I bet if he fight a second time, we know what happens. Now, yes, GSP avenged both of those losses. He did. So that's the reason why people like to throw him out. Mm-hmm. But still, I mean, it just never happened in the first time with Jones. So, I don't know, man. I would love to see Jones at heavyweight. I'm excited to see that. Gonna be interesting. The entire UFC right now is really interesting. 45, Volkanovski. I want to see him number 3 against Holloway.
You know what fight I want to see, though? Henry Cejudo.
Oh, God.
And Volkanovski.
Yes. Cejudo needs to come back.
I think Cejudo becomes quadruple C.
Yes. That triple C, yeah. Like, we got Triple H, we were having a triple C. No question. Like, I think Cejudo beats him. I don't care what nobody say. Now, yes, we need to stop doubting Volkanovski. We do. Because I have been doubting him a lot.
Yeah, I have too.
I've doubted him a lot.
Those rugby players, man, I just don't care about them. Stupid football. Pick soccer or American football. Stupid rugby.
Rugby, yeah. But
I'm just kidding. That's a tough sport.
It is tough. It is tough. I think that's where some of his toughness come from.
Actually, I'm not kidding. Stupid.
Because Brian Ortega should have submitted him. I don't know how he didn't.
Yeah, that's true.
It was tight.
Got that rugby neck.
That rugby neck, right?
Well, I know we talked a lot, and we're already back an hour. What are we in, Ethan? An hour 45?
Hour 18.
Oh, okay. So let's do like the next 12 minutes or so. What's up?
I was gonna let him know to just turn his mic just a little bit.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
Let's do like the next 12 minutes or so, and then Ethan, give me a hand if we get ranting again, because we do that.
Sure thing.
Because we
hey,
literally
2 topics.
We literally love these same things.
We do.
Yeah.
So
we do.
Makes for good episodes. I don't know what
brainer to get on here. Like,
yeah.
Dude,
I'm talking like I would talk to people when we sit at table.
That's the podcast that I enjoy, when I'm not having to like figure out what we're going to talk about, or like, so tell me about this. Like, I do enjoy that, because I do sales and I like to figure out things, but I like to just talk.
Yeah.
WrestleMania is on the road to WrestleMania.
Yes, sir. Right? I'm ready.
Have you heard the rumor? Because I'm sure you listen to Dirt Sheets.
I do. PWI Insiders. I do.
Are you excited about a potential Stone Cold Steve Austin
versus Kevin Owens? Okay.
No. Take away Kevin Owens.
Okay.
Are you excited about a potential Stone Cold Steve Austin?
We got to get to the point to where we eventually have to let go of nostalgia. We were just talking about the MMA. We got to let GSP go. We got to let Anderson Silva go. We got to let Chuck Liddell go. We got to let Tom Brady go. We got to let Peyton Manning go. We got to let go. We got to let go of those guys. It's time for new blood. Yes. Stone Cold coming back. Would that be interesting? Yes, it's going to sell. I'm going to tune in. I'm going to tune in regardless. But yes, I'm surely going to watch because of that. But seeing him out there wrestle, knowing that's not his full potential, it just puts a damaging image on what I know who Stone Cold is. That's if anybody's seen the Undertaker's documentary, like dude, his last ride documentary was incredible. His what was the other one? It was another one he had. He had another documentary. He had two, I believe.
Which one followed him going into Roman? That was the last one.
Was that the last ride?
I think so.
Something.
Then it started out with him and Roman, then tied into him and AJ.
Yeah, I think that was it. So the Undertaker talked about that one a lot. So what he talked about is he don't want to be that type of wrestler that stays in too long, because obviously he stayed in too long.
Yeah.
He said he didn't want to be that guy, but he was that guy.
Mhm.
But sadly, he became an image of something we knew he wasn't. The Undertaker I know saw him when he wrestled against Shawn Michaels, when I saw him wrestle against Triple H, when I saw him wrestle against CM Punk, when I saw him wrestle against Edge and Batista and all those guys. It wasn't the same Undertaker that fought against Brock Lesnar. It wasn't the same Undertaker that went against Roman Reigns and John Cena. That's not the Undertaker I know, because the Undertaker I know is much better. He's a much better wrestler. And I feel like we're going to get a damaging image of Stone Cold. Now, you could throw him in there and he have a 3-minute match. We've seen that happen before. 3-4-minute match. You go in there, do all his signature moves, stunner, boom, go home. Everybody, the crowd's happy. You can do that. But what would that be for? You know, a few extra ticket sales. Yeah. I mean, if I'm talking about financial reasons, yes, it works. But as a fan, what I truly know Stone Cold to be, I don't care for it too much. No,
Really?
I don't want him to do it.
I like that take though. I like that.
I don't want him to do it because that's just not the real Stone Cold.
Okay.
You know, that's it. That's the only reason why.
Okay. No, listen, that's good. That's good because we're about to have a little bit of conflicting interest here.
Uh-oh, I want to hear it.
All right. So here's my thoughts when it comes to Ethan. You're going to need to throw this camera over here on me. Or you just put up on both of us because we'll be going back and forth. So I know you listen, some of these podcasts, I lose Ethan, and this is one of them. It's because we got to guess. It's cool. So Stone Cold. I came up in the Attitude Era. You're a little bit younger than me. So because you talk Cena, Batista, Orton. Like I talk Rock, Austin, like WCW, NWO, right?
Yeah, that was the best era. No car. I don't care what nobody say. It is the best era.
Yeah.
I've rewatched almost all of it.
Right. But it's not like you were watching it when you was 8 years old.
I didn't grow up in it.
I know. So like that's one thing that I had, like my generation has on wrestling fans that is a little bit different, right? So I'm born in 91. I started watching wrestling in the late 97, early 1998.
Oh, prime time.
Prime time Attitude
Yes,
Era, right? So like my first live event was Stone Cold and The Rock closing show at McKenzie Arena. Undertaker Kane Inferno match, McKenzie Arena. Look that up.
What?
Look that up.
Was that at McKenzie?
Monday Night Raw. Look it up. I was there.
Oh my God.
I was there. Look. I'm serious. Look up Monday Night Raw, McKenzie Arena, Undertaker Kane. The end of the show is like the dark match. The end of the show was Rock out in the ring with McMahon. He's like in his the black and blue Brahma Bull shirt, the first one. Austin comes out, stuns everybody, leaves. Beers everywhere.
See, like, why don't we have those type of stars now, man?
Yeah, but that's when they were building. Austin was a star.
Dude.
The Rock was building.
Yeah, he was.
You know, it was like before that, their first Mania. It was that.
But you
that
knew
time
Rock
frame.
was going to be a star.
But you knew.
You knew.
I bought that. Dad bought me that shirt when we went. That black and blue old school Brahma Bull shirt. Anyways, let's get off topic.
That's
so
lit.
you got Stone Cold coming back, who for guys like me, who just turned 31 a couple weeks ago, Jesus, probably have kids that are into wrestling.
Yeah.
So you think 30-ish to 35, 30 to 40 probably is that range of Attitude Era fans. They've probably got kids now between the ages of 5 to 15 who are reliving this wrestling boom. Well, they're going to get those people to go to WrestleMania, to tune into WrestleMania, because they're going to take their kids to go see the new stars they're watching. But now the dad's wanting to go because he's going to get to see Stone Cold Steve Austin one more time. I'll go watch Stone Cold. Oh, Stone Cold's going to be there? Yeah, we'll go to WrestleMania. I'll drop $2,000 on tickets to take you to front row to WrestleMania or whatever.
Yeah.
So I see what your point.
That's the financial part. That's
yes, the financial part. So I'm going to go to the wrestling part. As a wrestler, I can talk the wrestling side of things. You said that you want to see the Stone Cold evolve at his full potential. What's full potential in wrestling? Full potential is like what the type of match you can work at the highest work rate you can do at that time with a good dance partner. So it's not about how good you are. It's about how good the person in the ring is with you to make you look at whatever level you're at. That's why jobbers, like the best workers are not stars. The best workers are the guys getting the stars over. So you look at a Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is a great worker.
He is.
Not a good star. Doesn't have the look. I mean, he's a star, but doesn't have the look, the shorts and a cutoff shirt. I hate it. Canada, all of it. I hate everything about him, right? I'm American, okay? So I'm just not a Kevin Owens fan. I don't want to see Stone Cold come back against Kevin Owens.
So you don't think that's the right match?
I don't think that's, if you're going to, you had Stone Cold versus CM Punk like 10 years ago. You had Stone Cold versus Brock 15 years ago. You know, Stone Cold versus Hogan when Hogan came back when they did Rock and Hogan. You've got Stone Cold versus Triple H when he was doing the Authority. So many, like, the perfect time would have been for Vince McMahon to bring Stone Cold back to take on the Authority to get his company back. Long form storytelling, best way to go about it.
So I'm gonna ask you this, Gunner. Do you feel like Vince is losing his touch?
Did you watch Vince on Pat McAfee today?
I didn't.
Vince ain't losing nothing. There is a wild, I've heard this. There's this wild perception out there that like Vince McMahon's going cuckoo. He's about to be Biden. Like he's, just out there. Listen to that man talk on Pat McAfee. He should be president. That dude might be more in touch than ever.
Really?
It's weird. He said when the company went public, decisions went from being emotional to business. He said, so people judge me based off of business decisions, financial decisions. My heart's still there. I'm emotionally making decisions. But if your family member has cancer or you're going through a divorce or you really need this job because of money, I can't worry about that anymore because the stockholders and the board and the public version of this company is just financial, transactional. That's all I can worry about. So I think he's very in tune with what's going on. He just doesn't care at all.
Well, see, I'm probably too much of a fan, man. I'm probably too much of a fan.
You're not, because I feel the same way.
Because I understand, but when you think like moving the company to a certain direction, like, are you really behind pushing Roman Reigns as the guy?
Am I?
Yeah.
Who else are you gonna push? Tell me one more star on that roster. They ain't got one. Roman Reigns is the only star. One more believable person. Bobby Lashley? What's he gonna say?
Rollins.
No. Believable? Not with this current gimmick. When he was with the Authority, yes.
You're right.
What are you gonna do? Go out there and
I'm
Lulu La Fla, and you're gonna try to be a mixture of like Shawn Michaels in his prime and Tyler Breeze?
See, to me, Seth Rollins, they were trying to push him a little bit more like Michaels. But to me, Seth Rollins had like a Triple H feel to me. He had a little Triple H, how he was around 2002 to like, had the power in the company, was the champion, but can also have put on incredible matches. Like that's the reason why Triple H was the champion for so long, because he could put on incredible matches while being the bad heel.
Yeah,
like
he was a good worker that had star potential.
Yeah. And I thought Seth Rollins, but I understand Roman Reigns is the face, but
why don't you like Roman Reigns? Because he's fed down your throat?
Probably so. Yes.
Because when everybody wanted Roman Reigns to be the guy, they didn't make him the guy. Then when they made him the guy, they didn't want him to be the guy anymore because they waited too long.
They waited too long. I agree with you. Yeah. You're actually, yes, you just said exactly what I said. Yes. But the other problem is, so how many times we want to see this Brock and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania again? We've seen this match before. Now, the first time they wrestled, that was a really good match.
The first Mania match.
31, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when Rollins cashed in. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I actually liked Rollins cashing in on that.
Me too.
Because neither lost and it was good.
That was a good storyline. I enjoyed that. And then they had him beat 32 was Reigns and Triple H. I didn't care too much for that. Well, then you had Reigns 33 was Reigns and Taker.
Mm-hmm. His house.
Then 34 was Brock and Reigns. Okay.
Okay.
So and then Reigns finally got the job done. That match was there. And then they done fought so many times since then, and now they're labeling, the biggest WrestleMania match in WWE.
Stupendous.
Yes. So you're sitting here like,
Funny. So McMahon goes,
I don't know.
they said marketing. He goes, I'm more into marketing side of things now. He goes, I came up with the stupendous idea. And McAfee goes, why? He goes, do you know what stupendous means? And he goes, no. He goes, exactly. So you're going to look it up and you're going to look up WrestleMania. He's like, nobody uses stupendous to say something's good. It actually is it means something good. It means something really good. It means something spectacular. It means WrestleMania. Like, he's like, so you're going to look it up. He's like, so McMahon's like on the marketing side of things now.
He is. He can still do that. I don't know, man. Probably because it's just like maybe I'm also pissed a little bit that AEW is getting all these guys and they ain't doing jack with some of their guys over there as well. Like they got some of their guys over there, but like now Cody Rhodes, he's leaving. Did he sign with WWE?
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. I wish CM Punk would just come on back, but we miss you, Punk. Then Daniel Bryan goes over there. Like, come on, man. Like, I don't know, man. I'm a WWE guy at heart. I watch some AEW here and there, but just not the same. I don't know.
So here's how I see. Let's book Stone Cold coming back to WrestleMania in the best way possible. Well, how would you do it?
I would book Stone Cold.
If you want to think about it, I can give you mine.
I'm gonna think about it first.
All right, so here's what I would do.
You go first.
I'm torn on, do you promote it or do you let it happen? Okay, so I'm torn on those two. Financially, if you're struggling with ticket sales and you're about 2 weeks out, which we're about 2 weeks from 2 weeks out, if you still only have half capacity sold, I'd announce it. And I'd announce him for a match.
That makes sense, yeah.
Okay, so I'd announce him for a match. If you've already set the Kevin Owens up thing with the I Hate Texas. You've already got JBL taking shots at him on Twitter. You got Booker T taking shots at him on Twitter. You got Booker T looking like he could come back and work, and he works for his promotion down in Houston. So maybe you let Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins do their match this Monday. You get rid of Rollins you get rid of Owens from Rollins, and then you go 2 weeks of I'll fight anybody from Texas type of thing, and you put him in a match with Booker T, and he beats Booker T. You put him in a match with a JBL, he beats a JBL or a Shawn Michaels or whoever on Raw, just something random, right? Yeah. Or a beatdown or something. And then you get to WrestleMania, and then, he's like, I'll call anybody out from WrestleMania, blah, blah, blah. Actually, and then McMahon comes out and he goes, you want somebody from Texas at WrestleMania? You're going to get somebody at Texas from WrestleMania. And he just says it's going to be Stone Cold. And you don't get a promo from Stone Cold. You just got to wait for the glass to shatter at the arena. Right? First match of the night.
And the place will
don't wait. Down. First match of the night. First match, night one. Because you can't go last on night two or on night one because you got Ronda and Becky. Yeah. Or Ronda and Charlotte. You can't go into night two because you got Roman and Brock. So you go first match, the first segment of WrestleMania, Stone Cold versus Kevin Owens. And you get out and you have Kevin Owens come to the ring. You have him act like they're not going to come out, blah, blah, blah. Maybe you have a bunch of other Texas wrestlers come down to the ramp. And then they part the sea, and here comes Austin on the just in his gear, ready to roll. Right? He comes out, he does everything, and then you think it's probably gonna be like a Goldberg type Brock squash, and it's not. Like Austin doesn't have to work. Think about this: Goldberg, you gotta be able to pick grown men up, and he could because he used to be a freak, right? He picked everybody up, press slams, spears, jackhammers, whatever. If you're Undertaker, you got to be able to pick everybody up. You got to be able to tombstone, choke slams. You got to do the old school, so you got to have your coordination to be able to go on top rope and do your deal. His signature spots are tough.
Yeah.
Stone Cold's got to come to the ring. He's got to sell. He's got to throw some punches, get you into the corner, stomp a mud hole in you.
Yeah.
Bring you out. You get on him a little bit. Them work you into the ropes. Them go to shoot you. He reverses it. Luthez press. Boom, boom, boom. Hit the ropes. Flip off. Elbows, sets up, gets up. Here you come. They reverse your first stunner. You reverse his stunner. Stunner. Match. Match is done in about 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a simple match, right? But that's not what you want to see. You want to see Stone Cold in a 20-minute match, a 20-minute main event. So that's where I'm torn. Or
I like the 4-minute match.
Yeah.
I'd rather see the 4-minute match.
okay, so then
Exactly.
you don't if you got good ticket sales, you're about 80% at capacity. You just say Kevin Owens is going to do an open challenge in Texas for any former Texas athlete or whatever.
Ooh.
And then you tease like everybody but Stone Cold, and then you give him the glass. And then he just comes out, jeans, shirt, comes out, stunner, beers. That's it. Like,
Can't beat that.
so I think it's a matter, and I think it's a matter of attendance, tickets. And I think you'll see that. I think because right now they're at like half capacity both nights, and they can do the arena to where it's 80,000 people a night or 100,000 people a night because it's in AT&T. So, I mean, do they want to go for 160,000 people in 2 nights, or do they want to go for 200,000 people in 2 nights? Because you put 100,000 people in an arena 2 nights in a row, you're the best promoter in the country.
You are, and there's no question.
So I would think that night 2 sells out because Roman Brock and night 2 of WrestleMania. But night 1, you need something. So what do? First match of the night, Stone Cold versus Kevin Owens.
You're right.
You're sold out.
So which night is Edge and AJ Styles? I thought they were starting the night off one of those nights. I could be wrong.
Oh, I don't know. If they start, I don't know. I'm
I
not
could
sure.
be wrong. They're probably not.
I don't know. I mean, but that's going to be a good match.
It is going to be a really
So
good
take
match.
up 30 minutes of time, you know. And I'm sure Edge will have a great Brood entrance because that's been his thing here recently. So that'll be cool.
Also, what are your thoughts about Jake Paul being in WrestleMania?
Logan Paul.
Logan Paul. Sorry, yeah, Logan Paul with the Miz.
If you're going to put him with somebody,
that's the perfect guy to put him with.
Perfect guy to put him with.
Yeah.
Make it believable. I mean, I think Logan Paul is a better athlete than Dominic Mysterio. And,
I agree with you that.
And then you put Ray and Miz on the same level. I mean, I think it'd be all right. You know, I think it might be a little unsafe, but it's all right.
It's all right.
You know, dude, after what Jake and Logan been doing, I'm not a fan, but I'm not a hater.
Yeah.
You know, Jake, I mean,
yeah.
Jake legit dropped Woodley. Legit.
Yeah.
It wasn't a good fight, but he called him legitly.
I hate that. I hate that fight as much as anybody. I do. I just.
Let's go. We're going to go off topic. Hang on. Let's keep on.
Yeah,
all right.
stay with wrestling.
So what would you do for Stone Cold? Because
I'll
I'll tell you the only reason why I'd have him work a match, I'll tell you that here in a second. So tell me what you would do with him.
So I probably would do a little bit similar depending on the ticket sales.
Yeah.
But instead, so you say you have Kevin Owens. All right. So
I'm just assuming they're going with Kevin Owens as the guy to take a stunner.
Because right now he's the only one that does the stunner.
And he's talking bad about Texas.
And he's talking bad about Texas currently. So he's the only one currently. I'll have Stone Cold and him. I wouldn't be opposed to potentially seeing a tag team match as well. I wouldn't be opposed to seeing that. Have Kevin Owens and
Seth Rollins.
Oh my gosh.
Because they're tagging right now.
Yeah, have them too. And then Stone Cold, probably Booker T. Have them tag team. And heck, you want to spice it up? You can call old Dwayne. I know he's not coming. I know you could. I mean, heck, Cena don't even have a match on this card.
I know.
You know, throw him in. I mean, you just try to spice it up a little bit and see what you can do. But right now, I only see I just see probably a one-on-one match with Owens and Stone Cold. Stone Cold go out there and do what the Taker did to Cena. You know, I would take some of that same approach. And boom, he comes out there. You know, where you at, Stone Cold? Where you at? And then he's like, you know what? I'm gonna forget you. And then he start walking towards the ramp, and then you hear, da-da-da-da-da-da. And he's coming out there, shooting birds, doing his thing.
Yep.
And then he started chasing Owens. I think that'd be pretty cool. So
yeah,
I can see it something like that. But
I just think it's a lot easier for Stone Cold to work Stone Cold style at his age, his time away from the ring. You punch, kick, sell, Luthez press, elbow, stomp a mud hole, stunner. That's really all you got. The only thing he actually picks people up for is the where he'd pick them up and he'd drop them on the turnbuckle or on the ropes.
Yeah, on the ropes. He does a spine buster sometimes.
Yeah, but other than that, I mean, stuff that other people can do themselves.
So I got a question. Do you think sometimes Vince McMahon gets a little desperate?
Okay, so I think obviously he's the guy, right? So he's the main man. So anytime that fans are not happy, they're going to point to Vince like he's end all be all. I think there's a bunch of people behind the scenes that make these decisions as far as creative, because they actually have people writing
They have a
segments
creative team. I know.
that don't even they're like comedians that do it. It's weird.
Really?
Yeah, like they hire people that have zero wrestling experience to write a story for wrestlers to perform. Very weird. I don't understand. But then you have producers who are just older wrestlers, but even those guys are not even like your best wrestlers of all time. So it's like you got guys producing matches that didn't necessarily have the best matches back in the day. So why are they producing? And then you have to go up the chain of command. So you got to go like through Gorilla. Obviously, everything goes through Vince, but maybe you already have everything planned, and then Vince changes it last second, which makes you have to do a change up, and it's not comes off well. Yeah. I don't think he's out of touch. I think that he runs a business and he's all about the dollars, and everywhere he goes is, if not sold out, almost sold out. And they do it 3 times a week, every week since 1993.
You're right about that.
They're all over the world. They broadcast in 40 different languages. They go to Saudi in the Middle East twice a year and make more money than any other wrestling company combined. Yeah.
That's crazy.
They almost pay for their company in Saudi Arabia, and the rest of everything they do is cake, the icing on top. They made $1 billion last year.
Isn't that their biggest year they ever had?
The best year ever was last year.
Mm-hmm.
They keep getting rid of people that other companies keep picking up, and these people think they're going to be stars, and then they go to these other companies and just become mid-card again. Or they use those guys to elevate their talent that's not even that good in the first place. When they get elevated, they just deflate. So I think that he gets desperate, but he's also listening to the fans. So like, I think one of these things is like the fans, fans are procrastinators. They're going to buy things last minute. So I think you're really going to be able to tell ticket sales in the next couple of weeks. And I think if he sees that ticket sales are down, he's desperate. Obviously, the conversations leaked that he's talked to Stone Cold. Maybe he will reach out and be like, I really need you. What do you need? I don't know if it's a money thing for Stone Cold. I think it's so more complex than what we think.
I think, it probably is, because he has to probably go to Stone Cold now, because Taker, I don't think he gets Taker no more. I don't think Taker, I do believe Taker never wrestles.
Taker could be that Texas guy, though. Hall of Fame. He's still in shape. He's from Texas.
They're going to do a tribute to him doing something at WrestleMania. So.
You have Kevin Owens talking shit about Texas, and you have one of the greatest Texas athletes going into the Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame, that's right.
And you just bring him out to do a choke slam. But I mean,
we've seen that too much.
We've seen that too many times, and I think he had the perfect ending with AJ.
Taker.
I mean,
it's tough.
You also got, like, you say if he was super desperate, I think you would have seen Shawn Michaels wrestle in the past 10 years. I think if he was...
but see, that's what I respected so much of. I respected when he was like, this is my retirement match. If I lose, this is my last match ever. And he stayed true to that.
Kind of.
Until the Saudi Arabia mess.
Well, because them boys get paid like $2 million to show up.
I understand his money, but dude, that match was so bad.
It didn't help that Triple H ripped his pec.
Yeah, he ripped his pec.
And finished the match.
He did. Oh, disrespect.
So, yeah, let's talk about... I mean, he had already bruised up during the match.
You can see it. Already.
We talked about that on the show when it happened. That's
crazy.
Very impressive.
And he had to just work only Kane. And Shawn Michaels, ain't wrestling forever.
And Kane wasn't working regular either.
No.
And he got Undertaker about dead out there, literally as a dead man. And Triple H was a torn pec, and Shawn Michaels bald. Like, come on. It just wasn't a good look, man.
It just wasn't good.
It wasn't a good look.
They made the best of what they can do, man.
Wasn't a good look. Still better than anything AEW does.
Yes.
So, I don't know. I just, desperation would be like if Stone Cold I think desperation would be like, all right, man, we're struggling. So next year WrestleMania is a Rock versus Stone Cold.
Yeah, that is definitely.
I think that's desperation.
That is bad. That's really bad.
Like Brock has had this new fresh wind, I think. I like new Brock. So the
No.
rumor I've heard, and we'll wrap this up because Ethan didn't give me a 12-minute Iggy. So I think what happens is if you have Stone Cold come back for a match, you sign him for a deal to like a Goldberg contract.
Okay.
All right. Goldberg, God, dude, Goldberg should have left after Brock.
You should have.
After the second Brock match.
You should have. That should have been
Now,
Ian.
I'm a huge Goldberg fan, so I love every time the music comes on, and we got to go to Nashville, and he was there. Like,
That's pretty awesome.
the first time I've seen Goldberg live, so I'm okay with it. But like, and if you have him come do a spear, okay. Even that match with Bobby, awesome, gimmicky fight, old man strength. I get it. Don't have the man work an actual match.
Please
and have to
don't.
like.
Please don't.
First of all, he wasn't good at that when he was 30. So why are you expecting him to be good at that when he's 52?
Exactly. When he almost killed the Undertaker.
Yeah, and if you're gonna put him in there with Dolph, put him in there with Kevin Owens,
Yeah.
put him in there with any guy that makes him look bigger than he is.
Mhm.
Even with Roman, that's okay. That match was fine. It is what it is.
It went bad.
So with Stone Cold, I say you sign him to we call it a 4-match deal. All right, you go 4-match deal, and you start at WrestleMania and you end at Mania.
Mania, SummerSlam,
Rumble, Mania.
Rumble, Mania.
Maybe one of the Saudi shows. All right. So you go, and here's where it gets stupid, maybe. I don't know. Call me stupid. There's one more match that I would like to see, and that's Brock and Austin. But you got to make it brawly. You can't be just like.
You gotta make it a little bit how, if anybody remember, 2012, Cena and Brock when Extreme Rules, I believe.
Yeah.
Make it like that.
Yeah.
To like, it wasn't much technical wrestling.
Brawl.
It was just a brawl.
Yeah. A fight.
Yeah.
A fight.
A fight. Yeah.
I
can see that.
And you do.
I can see that.
And you do. And this is stupid. Just hang with me. You do Austin, Kevin Owens, quick match. He looks sharp, looks good. Now you got him 12 months to diet and get back, right? I think he's probably still okay right now.
How old is he?
55, I think. Maybe 57. I don't know. He's old. So don't let him get to 60, all right? I need him. Listen, I'm basing this all off Sting.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
Okay, so, all right, need to get him in, get him out.
Because
second match, maybe you also do something else, maybe a tag match or maybe another quick singles match with pretty much a nobody, up-and-comer trying to be cool. Third match, he wins the Rumble. He's only 4-time Rumble champion winner, or the Rumble winner. Comes in at 30, wins the Rumble. Didn't have to do anything except throw anybody over top rope and hit a couple stunners. WrestleMania versus Brock.
you could do that. And
That's
then Brock puts him over. I mean,
or
Stone
WrestleMania
Cold-
versus Roman, whatever you want.
Oh god.
But I think
He'll give Roman all the big time wins.
I think next year if you can do Stone Cold versus Brock, Rock versus Roman in Hollywood for WrestleMania 39 or 39, biggest of all time. And it's in Hollywood. So if you're gonna go big, you gotta go big in Hollywood.
You gotta go big in Hollywood, especially with. I already think they got Rock and Roman.
I think Rock and Rock. So here's what I think happens in the main event. I think Brock wins. I think Roman is distracted by the Rock. Sets up Rock Roman for next year's WrestleMania.
Oh, you think Brock gonna win?
I think Brock's gonna win.
I hope he does. I love Brock.
Because you got babyface Brock.
He is a babyface.
Are we going to just keep? Rarely at WrestleMania do they send everybody home mad.
Mad. That's right.
You did it with Austin when he did the turn with McMahon when he beat Rock the second time.
Yeah.
Which was his biggest mistake of all time. When do they really send the fans home mad?
Reigns and Undertaker.
But they wanted to send the fans home happy. They just didn't allow it.
They didn't get the response they wanted.
Yeah. Like that was face
see.
versus face.
Okay.
People just hated Roman.
Actually, I can't really think of one. You're right.
So the main event of WrestleMania is meant for usually the good guy.
Who's the main event WrestleMania 24? That was Taker and Edge, right? Or was it Triple H, Randy Orton, and Cena?
I think it was a 3-way.
It's 3-way.
Yeah.
For some reason I thought it was Taker and Edge, but I could be wrong. 'Cause I was about to say
I didn't think
that-
Taker and Edge was the main event, was it? Was it?
I thought that was the main event.
No, we had to look it up.
Yeah, look that one up. Because I was like, if that's the case, they're sitting home mad with Triple H, Cena, and Orton. 'Cause Orton was a big time heel that time.
Let's just look up WrestleMania main events. How about that?
That was Undertaker versus Edge was 24.
So check this out.
24. Okay, that's what I
WrestleMania 1. Let's just go through it real quick.
All right.
Here's your clip. Go ahead and put this timestamp down.
thought. All right.
WrestleMania 1. Hulk Hogan and Mr. T versus Paul Orndorff and Roddy Piper. Faces win. Hulk
Faces
Hogan and
win.
Mr. T.
Yep.
And then the next two WrestleManias, Hogan wins.
He's
And
always
then
the face.
Randy Savage beats Ted DiBiase. And then Hogan wins. And then first face, Ultimate Warrior wins. And then Hogan. And then Bret Hart versus Yokozuna, face wins. And then Lawrence Taylor versus Bam Bam Bigelow. And then Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart. Shawn Michaels the face.
Was.
And then, because they had the turn.
That's right.
And then Undertaker versus Psycho Sid. And then
That's right.
Stone Cold versus Shawn Michaels. And then
That's right.
Stone Cold versus The Rock. And then maybe right here, Triple H wins at WrestleMania 2000 in the Fatal
Against-
4-Way.
Oh yeah.
But Fatal 4-Ways, those get a little weird. Doesn't really matter.
it was against because the final one was an elimination. The final one was The Rock and Triple H.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, that crowd would have went home blasted if The Rock would have won.
Yeah. So,
That's one.
then
That's only one.
you got Stone Cold versus The Rock, Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Triple H versus Jericho, Triple H.
Yeah.
Lesnar versus Angle, Lesnar.
Lesnar, he was the face.
Benoit, Triple H, and Michaels, Benoit.
Benoit, he was the face. That's right.
Batista versus Triple H, Batista.
Yeah.
Cena, Triple H, Cena. Cena, Michaels, Cena. Undertaker, Edge, Undertaker. Triple H, Randy, Triple H. Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, Shawn Michaels.
Undertaker.
No, Undertaker. Yeah, why is that?
That's just about to say they got that completely.
They do
wrong.
have that wrong. That's it wrong.
I
Yeah,
did.
Undertaker. But still, that was kind of,
He was- yeah, that was face.
Miz and John Cena, The Miz.
The
but
Miz.
how'd The Miz
in
win?
Atlanta. I went to that WrestleMania.
How'd The Miz win?
The Rock.
The Rock.
Yeah.
And what that set up?
The next year.
The whole year of
The whole
WrestleMania.
WrestleMania. That's right.
John Cena versus The Rock.
That
The
was
Rock.
Two faces. Dude, the way The Rock changed up like some of those fans to like hating Cena is crazy. Cause like even before he wrestled him, like when he wrestled The Miz, I remember being at the WrestleMania and some of the guys were booing Cena as he was coming
Just
out.
because The Rock.
Because it was The Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Against The Miz.
So, I mean, that lets you know who the GOAT is, right?
That's right.
I mean, you can say what you want, but
you're right.
if a man can come out and switch the fans like that,
I know.
you're no longer the GOAT.
You're-
And Roman will find that out real quick.
He will. He will.
John Cena versus Rock second time. John Cena wins, but that's more of a business decision.
Yeah, it is. It's two faces.
Then you got Daniel Bryan, Batista, Randy Orton.
Oh,
Daniel
no
Bryan.
question. No question.
Seth Rollins, Brock and Roman. Roman was winning, and then Seth wins. Then you got Roman, Triple H, Roman, Undertaker, Roman. Brock Lesnar versus Roman, Brock Lesnar. They got that. They've already got that laid out for. That's 34.
That was 34.
And then Becky, Charlotte, and Ronda. Becky wins. Becky was the face.
Yes, she was.
So
I mean,
after looking at this again and seeing that Brock beat Roman last time, maybe, I don't know. But usually
yeah.
33 out of 35 times they've sent the crowd home happy.
Yeah.
And the other times has been a little bit iffiest.
Yeah, there's been something along with it. You right?
So that's all we're going to say. So here's our final predictions. Who wins? Brock Lesnar or Roman Reigns?
Brock Lesnar. I'm going with Lesnar.
I'm going.
I got Lesnar beat him. I don't know how. I just don't think they're gonna send him. Like you're right. Since he's the face now, I don't see him. You convinced me now. I don't see them send him home like that now. I didn't think about it like that, but I don't think they're gonna send him home like that now.
All right. I will say I think Lesnar wins too, or I kind of hope Lesnar wins. But if Roman wins and you lead into Roman versus Rock, add the dates up. If Roman keeps the belt, beats Rock at the next Mania, he'll be the longest reigning champ all time. So
Whoa.
that's a potential storyline, and that's been the narrative too. Every time they bring him on, it's like 500 days, 550 days. They're doing like the Goldberg streak with his belt record because he's, whatever. Anyways, that's it. Torrez, anything else, bro?
I don't, brother. I don't, man. just ready to go see Batman in a few.
Hey man, you let me know how it is.
I will. I definitely will.
When you going tomorrow?
Tonight,
What time?
8:40.
What am I doing? Dude, get out of here.
The movie theater's right up the street. It's not too far.
You going to East Ridge?
AMC.
Oh, okay. Geez, you gotta tell me these things. I'd have
Chattanooga.
cut it off a long time ago.
No,
all
you're
right,
good.
my man's getting to Batman. You guys subscribe, hit the notifications bell, comment, do all the things. We on Rumble, we on Getter, we on Parler, we on Twitter, we on Instagram, we on Facebook, wherever. Probably underground. You just hit us up, find us, subscribe, and we'll keep pushing stuff out. Next week, episode 100, we're getting fucking canceled. See you later. Bye.
Yes.